The sage grouse species in particular, because it knows no difference between public or private land, it's going to occupy wherever it wants to go. And if the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service sees a need to protect that species through a listing decision, restrictions on the use of those lands are most likely going to occur. And our rural communities, at least in eastern Oregon, are heavily dependent upon a thriving agricultural industry made up of both farming as well as ranching activities. The livestock utilize the same landscape as other species do as well. So if you have a concerted effort to manage the whole ecological system of the landscape and make improvements to that, you're benefiting all species that utilize such lands as that. Under a candidate conservation agreement, you're provided assurances in the case of your private lands that in the event that a species becomes listed as either threatened or endangered, no further restrictions upon the use of your land will be imposed as a result of the listing if the permit holder is following prescribed conservation measures and practices. Participation in the conservation agreement enables some certainty in the continued use of your land. If your land is restricted from what its original use was, for example, cattle ranching, and if you could no longer do that, what would the value of that land be? Well, it would be certainly diminished. So we're trying to protect the value of the land and its improvements for the continued use and purposes that it's been utilized for, historically. What's been prescribed is not onerous. It's good management practices. It's good cattle grazing management. You don't overgraze a piece of land. You move your cattle. You preserve what's on the ground so that it'll regrow and continue to sustain itself through the years.